Hi all, Ray Finucane here to this is a very quick video. I just had to put up because I'll be honest with you, I have this issue and it's been on my mind all day. I was listening to Kerry radio this morning and I heard John Brassil and Deputy Healey-Ray speaking about the issue of housing. And it ended up being a bicker fight between one and the other, who could do this and did that and who was doing this and the other thing. And do you know what? It kind of spoiled, I won't say spoiled, but it got off of the issue of the serious issue of housing. And they spoke about, they spoke about Dingle, they spoke about Killarney, they spoke about Tralee, they spoke about other areas. One area they left out, very simply, was North Kerry and the Stole and the surrounding areas of North Kerry. That we need social housing. We need housing at present. It's not there. It's not here. It's not in the Stole. It's not in any of the surrounding areas. And we're really stuck for social housing, which means that there are families in this area that are without homes. They may be, if they're lucky, living with relatives, which means you've got maybe 2, 3 plus generations living in one house, which isn't acceptable. But North Kerry was not brought up at one stage, at any stage, in that conversation on Radio Kerry this morning. And today is Friday, the 6th of October. And just for any of you that want to go back and maybe get the podcast of it. And I wasn't, just to listen, because I did not hear at any stage anything about North Kerry. My view is very simple. They're talking about what they can, about getting houses here and developing houses there. Well, one thing that could be done, and maybe some of you might agree with me, or you may not, but this is just my view. And very simply is that I believe that there should not be any property sold, as in social housing at present time, should not be sold by the County Council. Simply because they're not creating, there's nothing coming up. They're not creating any other social housing to cover for what they're selling. So really, every time that little well of social houses is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Hence, more families are struggling to get on the list, or not even on the list. Like, then a great example is they brought in the issue, the idea of RAS, which I think is ridiculous. Because, again, it doesn't solve it. It's a short-term solution to a long-term problem. Now, this year, they're bringing in this HAP scheme, which is, I'd advise anyone, do not go on it. Do not go on the HAP scheme at all. Because if you're on the list, and you go on the HAP scheme, and say the house decides to be sold, you're no longer on the list. You're no longer on the housing list. You're off. So I would say to you, do not go on it. It's not a good idea at all. But the starters here is that we need to stop the County Council from selling social housing and to keep it, because by keeping it, at least then there's money still going in. It may, but it's continuous money going back into the County Council rather than being sold off and getting a lump sum of whatever. And it's keeping social housing so that others can come in and be housed. It makes sense. The Thatcherite ideal of getting rid of housing never worked and doesn't work. But yet again, local and central government took it with open arms and well, you see what the mess we're in today. So this is just my feelings on this. If you have any questions, or if you want to even give your view to me, and I have to say I'm always looking for people's views, because again how it's important, because for the simple fact is, we people for profit, myself, my own ideals, is that we work from the ground up, not from the top down. I don't take orders from the top down, I take orders from the ground up. That means I take orders from you, which is very important. So any issues you have, anything you want to bring it forward to me, please contact me. You can either contact me on Messenger, on my Facebook, or you can contact me on my, and I'll put it up on the screen, of my email address, which is brian@peoplebeforeprofitkerry.ie, And even if you want to go further and see what I'm about and what we're about, People Before Profit here in Kerry, go onto our website, which is peoplebeforeprofitkerry.ie. So again, it's People Before Kerry, People Before Profit Kerry, People Before Kerry Profit. I'm having one of those evenings. Peoplebeforeprofitkerry.ie. And my email address is brian@peoplebeforeprofitkerry.ie. And again, your views are very important. They're important. They're important to me. They should be important to us, because it's only us that make change, not from the top, but from the ground up. That's where change will come. So again, have a good evening, and I hope to see you again soon.